I'm Shanti, everybody. So I got the topic. Today's topic is. Did you know what today's topic? I probably didn't tell you, but it was on the WhatsApp. So the topic is just going through the wardrobe of my mind and cleaning up everything. So your mind's got a wardrobe. So I got this topic from 2:30 this morning. I had sort of like a vision, and and the vision was it was like a virus, not a virus, but something like a virus just came to me, and you know, with those little round ones, pathogens, I think they're called, with little spiky things. But it's like an old memory that I've just started coming up lately. And so I thought, oh yeah, I've been remembering you lately. So that particular memory was there. So I thought, well, that's pretty amazing. And it's I haven't made peace with it, you see. So at 2:30 in the morning, I says hello and gave it love, and it's something that happened to you, you know. So sometimes you could get angry if you wanted to and get upset, whatever. So and that's not what we teach. And now when we become soul present, anything that comes up is for our benefit, you see. So when we're in soul presence, so this memory came, and so I said, look, oh, you've come because it's time for you to be part of my wisdom, you know. So then the soul can integrate you into our wisdom, you know, into the light, the new light body that we have. And so I said, not only you, but all other memories that are lurking in the back that I don't know about, I've forgotten. So I invited all those memories that I'm not even aware of, you know. So, and to come and integrate with love. And I just said, I'm sorry, you know, I didn't mean to interfere, but that's how it is. And now you can become part of my wisdom. So everything that we do becomes part of our wisdom. So it's not that whatever happened to me, someone did something bad to me when I was little or big or whenever, and you keep remembering that thing, you know, but it's actually your creation. So, and they just put it together for you, you know, you were the one that created it. So we have to accept it and accept it with love, and then it come back into your field. So, but it comes into your field as wisdom. So I was doing that at 2:30 this morning. So fully, actually, even though it was like a vision, but I was fully aware, you know. So I could remember what to do as a master. You see, when you're in soul presence, you have the power of the mind. So now that the body is in our field and the mind is in our field, so now the mind will be bringing things up to us and saying, hey, you look at this little one here, you're still remembering that one, you know, so it needs to be fixed. So, and then you don't just fix that little one, you fix everything that you haven't seen that's in the wardrobe. Some old coat that's been in your wardrobe since the last 30 years, you've forgotten it was there. But that's that memory, you know, that's sitting there just hanging in the wardrobe. So we have to pull that out and allow it to all the old stuff that's in that wardrobe that we don't need, you know, old habits and hates and likes and dislikes and all these things. So we're going to clean out the wardrobe of my mind, you know, anything that's of no benefit, then we don't chuck everything out with anger or something. We just allow it to come back and for the soul to take it and to put into us as our wisdom. Because that's what the soul does. But if we keep forcing it out, then it's going to come back again with force, you know. So you have to treat it with love, and that's what we're doing with the mind, you know. Now that we've made the mind part of our field, and we accept that mind with love and respect and regard, and also the human has the same thing. So they love to be there, and they're going to help us, you see. So they'll help us to become free of any thoughts so that we can not have to worry about anything. That would be any good, wouldn't it? So and that's what we're going to do. So we need just to go through the wardrobe and pick out a few things that are not so good, and we don't get angry. We just accept it and say, it's your own creation. So whatever you've had thoughts, something's happened to you, or someone's done something to you, or whatever, and that's affects you sometimes, and whatever you do, so you bring that up in that sense. You bring it out, accept it, and say, that you love it, and that you sorry for whatever happened, and I'm now inviting you to come into our field, as in the field of light. So it'll become part of your wisdom. So everything that happens to you when you have the right consciousness can become part of your wisdom. And so then once it becomes part of your wisdom, you'll be aware, maybe it's come up when some other things come around. Before you might have got upset, but now you think, oh yeah, I remember that. And it'll just disappear, It's just like waving goodbye sort of thing. It'll be there, but it'll be reminding you of certain things, to be aware of certain things. Because now we've got a nice big field to look after us, haven't we? So if we understand, it's like the human is here to help us, not to make it, you don't have to work the human hard at all now. The human's relaxing, and the mind is also relaxing. It's not there to protect you anymore, because we've got the whole field protecting us. And the mind is there still. It'll be there to help us in every way, So, and all the wisdom is in our light body, So all your past births, all the wisdom from that and this birth is in your new light body, and that's taking over the old chakras and everything like that. So the wisdom will be there. So you won't have to take the car to work. You'll be able to fly. Suddenly you'll be there. Pretty cool. But it won't be like that. But anyway, but the thing is that you shouldn't become heavy about it. So the whole thing is whatever's coming up, then you'll just observe it. And then that's what we're thinking. When we're soul presence, we're just observing. That's what we're talking. Remember, you're just observing yourself. So we're just observing you here. And this thought has come up. And you could say, oh, hi, how you doing, And say, thank you, mind, for showing me this thought. And now and we ask the soul to merge it into my new light body. So, but you have to do it nicely. You can't do it with force or with fear or anything like that. Some people have a lot of fears. So those fears are just belief systems. So they're nothing, they're just energy. And so a lot of people have a lot of fears. So, and when fear comes up, you just take that fear and say, look, we don't have fear anymore. We're in this field without fear, We have a beautiful combination, of all of us together. So we're never alone anymore. So your mind doesn't need to fear. So you could tell, hey, mind, no need to fear anymore. We're living in such a beautiful time now. The world is upside down, but we're the right way up. So whatever. But we can live in a life because that's their life. And our life is here if you choose to live like this. So it's a choice, isn't it? You don't have to do. There's no have to do anything. You're only there to observe. And if you don't want to do it, that's cool. If you do it, that's cool. You'll get the benefit, isn't it? So it's like anything, isn't it? So, but the idea is here now, because this is your final birth in this land of death in that sense. So we're going to go beyond that. So we're going to be living here now in the world, but we're going not living of the old way, So have the new consciousness. We're aware of all my past births are there in my wisdom. So whatever you're doing every day that comes in front of you, you don't have to think anything. You just live it. So every day you just live in, and whatever comes in front of you, you'll have the wisdom to overcome any problem. It's not that problems are not going to come. All problems will still be there, but you'll be able to see how to overcome them quickly. So, and you won't be affected mentally, you won't have stress. And that's the thing. We want to get free of stress, but enjoy, it's like you can be like a nice painter's painting something and he's really enjoying himself. He's fully engrossed in it. He's doing whatever he's doing, but he's in no stress, so he's just in his own presence. So he's painting in his own presence. But when someone comes to talk to them, they don't like it. They say, go away. I can't paint with you there. So, unless I'm painting you, of course. But there's so much, and the reward, is once it becomes your wisdom, your life is, you're living your life, and then you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about anybody, anything. In fact, sometimes we think we have to help people and save them and do all sorts of things, but that's the worst thing. You become God for them, You can't, no one can be God for anyone. So they've created their situation, and we think we have to help them and we have to fix them, especially when it's family members and stuff like that, but we don't realize every time we help them, if they have say an addiction problem, they might be smoking or drinking or whatever, gambling. So the whole thing, they might have an addiction, and we're trying to help them. We give them money and things like that, but that's making it worse, you see. So that you're not helping them at all. That's not called love. That's called, encouraging the same thing to happen again. Yeah. I laugh sometimes when people loan family money, but when you loan family money, you never get it back. It's because people don't have money. If you loan somebody some money, they don't have any money. That's why you loaned them. So where are they going to get money to pay you back? They're not. So when you give money or help anybody like that, and that's what happens. I'll just take that off of you. Yeah. So. Oops. Yeah. So sorry about that. Yeah. So our aim is not to. That's why whatever you do, it's just for you. And if you tell anyone about it, they won't understand, because it's you're doing you, aren't you? So, it doesn't matter how much you tell anyone else, unless there's someone like, if you were talking amongst yourselves, that's different, because you're all doing the same thing, thinking the same way. But when you're working on yourself, it's very personal for you, isn't it? So no one can understand what you're going through, because that's all internal, see? So when you're in soul presence, you're just sitting there and you're just observing, because you're not here to fix yourself. You're not here to heal yourself. You're just here just to observe, and you see whatever needs to be changed. When you're like that, you can see what you need to change. And if there's some issue, then you can integrate it into the light body, if you're ready to do that. Because you can't have a light body before you're ready. Only when you want one, then you'll have one. It just doesn't suddenly jump out of you. Because that means when you're ready to have a light body, that means your old way of living will become a new way of living, a new consciousness. So, and it's no, and the thing is, nothing changes. You still go to work, you still eat, you still have to have a shower, clean, and do the washing and whatever. Life still goes on, But when you become a master, then you have control of your life. That's all. So you become the master of yourself, not the master of anyone else, not the master of the world, or going to become a world emperor or something. And that's the joy. So, and the more that we can appreciate ourselves, so once you start going through the wardrobe and you take out things you don't like, and that goes back into you for your wisdom, then as you take the old clothes out, anything that you like, that's this. A lot of people even keep clothes they bought and they don't like them, but they still leave them in the wardrobe. They never wear them again, Maybe only wear them once, but they didn't like it, so it just hangs there, So all these sort of things is like that. So we're just going through the wardrobe, something in your life you don't like, so you can wisdomize it, Say, look, soul, I don't need that sanskar anymore. I don't need that habit. I don't need whatever it is. So, and we all got something. So there's no one that's free. So that's why we're still here, So you no need to worry. There's no right and no wrong. So once you start judging yourself, then you have the wrong feelings, think, oh, I shouldn't have done that, or someone shouldn't have done that to me. But, you are the one who's created everything in this world for you. to learn, you see, because the human is only an experiential machine. So the human is here and it's going to die, you know. It doesn't live forever. So you'll notice even after 30 or 40, it starts changing, you know. So the whole thing is it just starts changing and it goes like till the day you die, you know, it's an experience. So you start off as a baby and you get to an old person, it's all experiencing all the way through as an experience. But if you fear your next stage, then it's like, oh, what's going to happen when I'm 50 or 60 or 70? You know, all these fears, then you're living in fear. So that's what your life will be, full of fear, you know, or hatred or blaming and things like that. So you create all those things. So usually, and if you have anger, you know, about something, then that comes usually it can in cancer or diabetes or something like that. Mainly cancer is through anger. So you have a lot of anger, a lot of people get cancer. If you give people a lot of sorrow, you know, but it's all about your soul. So, and that's just generally speaking, you know, so everyone's got some lumps and bumps. I've had so many falls and aches and pains and broken this and that in my lifetime, you know, but that's just because I won't let go of things, you know, then the soul says, oh, I'll just put this stick in your way and you can trip over that and you'll maybe let go of whatever you're hanging on to and you bang your head or your shoulder or something and then you might even be knocked out or could be in hospital for 2 weeks. So who knows, but you have to let go of whatever you're hanging on to. So, and we're hanging on and hanging on and hanging on, you know, and we become sadder and sadder and sadder, you know. So we think everyone should be helping me for this, that, and the next thing, but you can only help yourself. So, and you'll find once you learn that you're responsible for everything for yourself, such joy and happiness will be there, you know. That's where joy comes from, yourself. So, and all the tools you need to create whatever it is you want is within you, you know. It's in the enthusiasm you have, all the tools are there. So if you tell someone else about it, first thing they're going to tell you, oh, don't be stupid, you know, or you tell your mind or something. So that's the first thing someone will say, oh, you can't do that. And that's trying to stop you, you know. So never tell anybody what's there, you know, otherwise some people can have jealousy, you know, and they don't want you to succeed, all sorts of things. And they're subtle things. But when you have that consciousness of a field, then that's your protection now. So and you have everything you need in that field because it's a field of abundance. So abundance doesn't mean just money. It means abundance might be good health. It could be everything, good relationships. You know, it doesn't mean just money. Abundance means everything, abundance of everything, you know, in this life and enjoying life. So you don't matter, it doesn't matter what the flavour of the ice cream is, it's just good, isn't it? It's still ice cream. So we're here to just enjoy now. So once you start becoming soul presence, you'll see more and more wonderful things you'll start to appreciate, you know. Maybe it's just you're looking at the sky and you see some, here it's quite interesting because some different birds fly. We're down the coast and different birds or ducks or geese or all sorts of things fly by. Sometimes you look up and you say, oh, that's nice, you know, you see some different birds flying around. And so there's all sorts of things, you know, might be fragrance from flowers or the wind. When I go for a walk, it's about 10 minutes walk, and I call it my park bench office. I've got it, and it overlooks the ocean, you know, so it's about 10-minute walk around the track here. And there's a nice park bench there, and I just sit on the park bench, and you're overlooking the estuary, you know, when the tide's in full, or even when it's not, it still looks nice, you know, and you can see the sky and One Tree Hill. Well, it used to be One Tree Hill, but One Tree Hill. And so it's really beautiful. And when you're walking around, there's all the green fields and everything. And I was thinking, wow, it's such a beautiful city when you think about it. It's all maintained, you know. I don't have to do it. We just pay our rates, but still, the city looks after everything, you know. It's just truly beautiful. All the mangroves are there, and they built the bridge through the mangroves and the nice paths to walk on. And you see people walking past and say, hello, how are you? You know, or hi. So that's really a nice environment, you know. But when I first came here, that environment wasn't like that, because we just after that COVID come along, and then they just finished building that path, and then the COVID came. They hadn't finished all the planting. They did that later on, about a year or two later. But it was so good. When COVID was here, I just walked around, and there's some amazing bird life I'd never seen before, and it was some beautiful experiences, because every morning we used to go for a walk. That's when we started Zoom, and we had to deal with them. And then, funnily enough, I got a sort of an issue, which is a skin issue. So I picked that up. I don't know what it was, but anyway, but I was like, I couldn't wear a shirt for about 3 months. It was so achy, and so Bumblebee was here then, and we had Jill the painter. She was a painter lady, so she painted all the outside. And the funny thing is, the day before lockdown, we got all the paint we needed for the centre, and she just all for the next, I think it was a month, whatever it was, or 5 weeks, she just painted the whole centre, and she was magical. I've never seen a painter like it. She was amazing. She never had any mats or anything. She could just cut right in. It was just like, I was going, wow, she's just a magical painter. And she just painted everything outside. It was amazing. And I was inside with shingles, shingles. I had that. It's like when you have shingles, it's leftovers from when you have chicken pox, When you're a kid, we used to get chicken pox, like it's like these little itchy spots. And if you have those, when you get older, in New Zealand, it's a bit of an epidemic. I think it was bigger epidemic having shingles than it was for the COVID, So, so that was it. So that was my entertaining part. But all that stuff is there in your wardrobe, So anything that was achy and painy, and why does this happen to me? Blah blah blah. All these things, that's all hanging up in your wardrobe. So these are the things we want to get rid of. So, and you don't have to go looking for them. You let your mind will give them to you. Now that your mind is a part of your field, that's what I'm finding. And you've accepted it with love. So you got your body, you've accepted your body with love, and you're part of the field. It's through the human that everything operates anyway. So, and the mind, now we've introduced the mind with love and good feelings, and then you'll start to feel that the mind is really interested, and it'll start helping in every way. You won't have all these other thoughts, but it'll help you to recognize the ones you don't need. So it's going to find all the ones you're not wearing. You don't need that. You don't need that garment. Check that out. Or no, we're going to integrate it into the soul. And so anything old from the old world, we don't need, because we're going to live in the new world, aren't we? With this love and joy and happiness and all that sort of stuff. And so that's what the mind's going to do for us. So the mind's going to be beautiful once we learn to accept the mind with love, compassion, and I just say, "Oh, sorry, mind. I didn't know. I was trying to conquer you and destroy you, and to make you behave yourself." Because we didn't realize, that makes it worse. Like a little child, If someone ever did that to me, I'd be getting worse too, So no one likes to be controlled, and the mind is the same. That's you, Your mind is you. It's your mind, but it's like a little child, So you're going to teach it. And how does a child respond best? With love. And with all your students, at your job, or in anyone, your employees, if you give them love, they respond beautifully, don't they? So, and that's the same for my mind. So same for the body. Body responds. So you can ask your body, and you don't have to heal the body actually. So when the body's there, you can ask the body, like, you don't have to fill it up with vitamins and minerals and all that sort of stuff, but the body can do all that. But if you trying to heal the body, it won't work, it doesn't. But if you let the body heal itself, so I'm going to take these, if it's any good, then use them, but you're not going to heal the body. Body's going to heal itself. So it's taken me ages, a long time to learn those lessons, but you try to do everything because you think, I'm going to fix this body, but you don't have to. Body can fix itself. It's so intelligent, because The body has an intelligence. Your mind has an intelligence. Your soul has an intelligence. But not the I am doesn't need intelligence. The I am is like your God. So it's the one that operates through everyone. Like your soul is a tool for the I am and to experience through. So everything else is a tool for the I am to operate through. So, and once you actually can start to experience that, whatever you're doing, no matter what, the I am can start to experience because you're allowing the I am. It's in the field, you see, and it's all part of you. So then the I am can start to experience whatever it is you're eating and drinking and working and whatever you're doing, going for a drive, having fun, can experience all those things. And that's what your I am's here for. But it's never been able to do it because we haven't been able to allow it because we think we have to control the body, you know, oh, my mind's terrible, you know. So all these things. So if the soul couldn't operate either, it would just go, okay, you do everything. I'll just sit back here until you're ready, you know. Once you have enough sorrow, then you go, oh, that's it. I've had enough, you know. Then the soul can say, okay, I can give you a hand if you want, you know. So, and that's where we're at. So, and if you allow, you don't have to force anything. You don't have to do a single thing, you know. Your field's going to do everything for you, you know. It's going to, that's the beauty. So, wonderful. I mean, I did so many hours of tapasya and all sorts of things. You name it, I've done it. But that was then. That's like the old world. But now we're in this new consciousness. We don't have to do that now, you know. Because all the people these days, they don't need to beat themselves up. But those days we had that inner strength from the old world, you know. But now we're in a new, totally different world. So, but we have wisdom now, you know. We can quickly get that. The intellect can quickly, because you, in your past births, you would have done all that. That's why you're sitting here now. If you hadn't done anything, you wouldn't be sitting here. So you would have done some spiritual efforts or something in your past and decided you want to be here now for this very special time in this world. This is such a special time, and you've planned it. You made this plan to be here right today. All of us, four of us, we're all here. We all made a plan to be here. So, and everyone on the internet. So wherever, so we've all planned to be in this world at this time and experience everything that's going on. Even how great Mr. Trump is, you know, how wonderful job he's doing, and each world leader, they're all playing their role perfectly, you know. There's not one that's wrong. So we don't judge anybody. We're just here observing the drama and going, wow, this is pretty magical. So, but when you're there, when you're in your field, you're separate. That's their world, and your world is in your field. Even if you're in the middle of the war and you're in your field, you'll still be protected because that's what nature does. Nature needs your light, your love, your companionship for all those around them, you know. So it's not that you have to go run around trying to save people, but because you're having that self-love. See, when you're learning to love yourself, so the mind is there, body, light body, soul, all in that beautiful love, you know. And you don't have to worry about anyone else. What about your mum? You gonna worry about your mum? That's okay. You can still have concern. I mean, you help your mum and dad and friends, isn't it? I mean, but you're not under their control, you know. You know, so you are the master of your life. So that doesn't mean you suddenly you run away from everybody. It's not like that. That's old sannyasis sort of. That's the old world stuff, you know. But these days, still that issue is still there where people get trapped in name and form. You know that this is a mask of our egos. You know, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm a whatever. You know, I'm a multimillionaire, I'm whatever. So these are just masks, and they all die. It's only for this birth. You're experiencing that mask in this birth, and it's going to finish. And but it still makes effect on your personality. You see, if you have a good whatever you're doing in this life, if it's good, then you're feeling that And that will be good for you in your next birth, you see. Whatever you're going to do next. Or even now, even tomorrow, whatever you're doing now, whatever you're learning now, tomorrow, even now you're experiencing, you might make a thought today, right now, you might think, oh, okay, I like that. I think I'm just going to practice that, but it's just ongoing, So don't get stuck on one idea, I've seen some people stuck 40 or 50 years on an old system that was created, Look at the Christians, they created theirs like 2,000 years ago, and Buddha and all those. That old system is still there, and they wonder why they're having trouble when there's wars and fighting, and it's all been pre-programmed. People's brains have been programmed, but we have to unprogram all that. That's all the clothes that are hanging in the wardrobe. Do I need that program? Do I need that program? No, I'll just absorb that back into my soul as wisdom, You'd be surprised what you need. You need a good laugh, that's for real, and you should be light, isn't it? If you're not laughing, then what's life, isn't it? So at least not laughing, but at least enjoying a pussycat walking past or a dog or something, it's just you enjoy you can how dogs and cats are just like their owners, they're just an extension to themselves, and you can see, the dog looks almost like the owner, you think because that's who they are, And it's quite amazing when you see people and their dogs, they do look alike, or their cats even, So it's quite interesting, but because it's just energy. Actually, animals are just energy, which is created like people. And when their dog dies or their cat dies, so that it's say they get another one, so the same energy goes back into the next dog or cat, and they think, oh, that's just exactly what the other cat or dog used to do. But that's true because the energy goes back in there. Same if you buy a new car, but you loved your old car, it was really good to you. Then you can take the energy from the old car and put it in the new car. You see, that's all. So it's not that you have to lose it. I remember I inaugurated someone's new truck. He is a contractor. He says he bought a nice new flash big truck and he liked the old one. He said, I really enjoyed the old one a lot. I said, well, you don't have to lose the value of that. You bring all the energy from that old truck into your new truck, and he felt very good about that. Oh, that's nice. So, but that's what you can do. Everything has a relation with you, so it's relational. So, and that's what it is. So we all have a field. So the truck has a field and he's in the field. So the truck automatically has the field, So, and if he gets another truck, he has the field and he takes with him in the next truck, And it could be the house you're living in, Sometimes you walk into a house and it just feels, wow, this is nice. We'll just take this one, And so everything is like that. So, and that's why we've got to look in our wardrobe now, see what clothes I need. And when the clothes are hanging nicely, they're not even creasy, they've got plenty of room. Not like mine, I've got about 1,000 shirts in mine, I should chuck a few out. So this is a good thing for me too. But a lot of stuff that's there, I haven't worn for years, And maybe I wore it once and I don't like wearing it. So I should really move it because it's just taking up room, isn't it? I can give it to somebody or take it to some place where they take good shirts or whatever. So, but that's what I mean. Our wardrobe is in here, So, and sometimes we might go to a gathering somewhere and we feel, you feel a bit scared, all these people are here, but you're not there for them people. You're here for yourself, You should feel that for yourself. Everything's for yourself, and most of the people, doesn't matter what you think, no one else is thinking like that. You might think, oh, what are they going to think of me? No one's thinking about you. They don't care. So forget it. Yeah, just live for yourself. So it doesn't matter how good you are. I mean, you have to be pretty famous. So you're going to be remembered for a while. Look at it. Even Adolf Hitler's still remembered, but he did some pretty bad things, didn't he? So a lot of things that helped him to remember. But then a lot of things are built up as well. Like some people make into other people into some sort of god. And they're not like that at all. So we're our own God. we're creators. See, we create everything. That's what the I am is. Baba said many times, he says, you are master gods. So he said that. You are creators. So we are. I am is consciousness. Consciousness has no form. But when consciousness, like Einstein said, when you see something, when consciousness is looking at something, it changes its form. So, and that's the same. Well, we're consciousness and we're looking through these instruments and we change the forms around us to whatever we like. You know? That's how we are creators, master creators. So if you don't like something, whose fault is it? You're the creator. So a lot of people think, oh, I can't create anything I like because of this person, you know. So and we blame other people, you know. So but it's our own creation that's boxed us in. We live in a box, you know, but who made the box? We did, didn't we? So we're living in that box. We have to live in a box. And that's why when we go through the wardrobe and we can leave the doors open and be free, you know, enjoy all your clothes and get rid of all the old stuff that's no good and just enjoy whatever you have, you know, all these things, all the beautiful habits and samskaras and wonderful, wonderful things that the human is so amazingly, there's no greater human being, there's no greater being in the whole universe than a human being, you know. Human beings are number one. Doesn't matter how many spaceships come and try and whatever they say, but there's no human being greater than anything else in the universe. That's how good we are. But we've been programmed to believe, oh, you're no good, you were born dirty, and so all these things, we have to get rid of all that rubbish that's been programmed in our head for lifetimes and cultures and all these things, so that we've forgotten who we are. So who are we? Yogi Bear, that's who we are. He's a pretty happy guy. Steals everyone's picnics, but that's okay. Yeah, you just be happy with what you got, you know. And the more you looking for something outside, the less you're going to have, because you'll never find anything outside yourself. When you're happy with yourself, then everything comes to you, you know. So, and that's how it works. So life's easy actually, but it's just trying to, I mean, all of us, every single human being in the world has been beaten up so badly with all these programs, you know, whether it's religion, culture, or whatever, your mum and dad and how they live and what you got to do. And to be successful in this life, you have to do everything I'm telling you, you know, and then so you become them instead of you becoming you know. So what do you want to do, you know? What's going to make you happy? You know? You don't have to think about it. If you think, what's going to make me happy? I don't know. So life's going to make you happy, you know. If you are living in your field of abundance, you're going to have to worry. No way. Your life will be abundant in happiness, you know. So you don't have to think what will make me happy. Whatever you're living, it will become more abundant. It'll make you more happier, you know, and it'll become more easy. So, and that's what you're going to do. That's the field's going to do that. You don't have to think. Now the mind is relaxing. It's saying, oh, I thought I had to do everything, but now it doesn't, you see, because you've got the masterminds there, you know, you've got the light body of all your past births, all the wisdom of all your past births there. And you've got your soul and it's wisdomized all your wisdom. So it becomes real easy. Doesn't mean you don't have to do the dishes, cook. You do the dishes, isn't it? You do the cooking. Oh, that's cool. What do you do? Eat. Someone's got to eat, isn't it? Oh, that's cool. And that's life. So you just enjoy life. Just be happy with what you're doing, you know. If you have to clean the bathrooms, you clean the bathrooms and do it happily, you know. And it's no big deal. It's especially in the West, it's not like in some some of these little townships in the middle of nowhere in India and stuff, my God, you wouldn't go near them bathrooms. So you couldn't get near them, but they're really dirty, So, but here we're living like in a culture, in a good culture, things are clean, so you don't have to worry. So we live cleanly, so in a clean way. So, but that's because I've cleaned out all my wardrobe. I'm gradually getting rid of all this stuff. The more you get out, the more free you'll be, And you'll be able to walk into the wardrobe and say, today I'm going to be like this. You can see all the clothes that have been beneficial to you that you like, you can wear. And you don't have to care about anyone else, whether they like it or not. That's what you like, isn't it? So when you're dressing for others, then you're forgetting yourself, Just dress for yourself what you like, colors or whatever. Shorts and sandals, whatever. That's a good Kiwi one, isn't it? And Australians, it's so easy. When I was in Australia, people just wear like a t-shirt and shorts and sandals, that's it. Yeah, nothing else. And in the day, you just jump in the shower with everything washing it, you just wear the same ones the next day, Live such a simple life, but they're pretty easy going. But not everyone's like that. So. But it's whatever you choose, You don't have to prove anything to anybody. That's the one thing. Doesn't matter how great and how big you're going to, so-called big in this world. You could be a multi-trillionaire if you want, but still, at some time you're going to die, And then all your grandchildren will spend all your money, have a lot of fun. They'll have a lot of fun. You had a lot of headaches, but anyway. But we're in this world to have fun, We're in this world to enjoy, If you live in fear, say, my God, how if I die, am I going to go to heaven or hell? Well, imagine like that. That'd be terrible, isn't it? That's only made up stories, It's not even true. And they only did it so that, and they can even place it when they made these stories up. They even know, and that's how they control people, by giving them fear. And because everyone was uneducated, didn't have an internet or anything in the old days, did they? They just, no one had any education, nothing. So you're in working, you're doing anything. So someone from the emperor come around and read you all this stuff, and they told you everything, and you had to believe that these are our enemies and they're going to do this and bad things, and they might not be like that at all, but you believe them. So you'll go to war and all get killed. So, and that's what they do. And that's no one's fault. It's just part of growing. Birth after birth will be dying, arrow in the front, arrows in the back, having children, and sometimes mums and sometimes dads, and all sorts of things happening. But that's all part of the game of becoming more and more, have more and more wisdom, all that brings wisdom until you say, okay, I've had enough of that stuff. Now I want to live a life of joy and happiness, and maybe study and learn about some nice things, So when that time comes, you're the one that decides that. And the soul goes, cool, hooray, at last. We can have some fun. I can work with this human again. Because the soul hasn't even been able to work with human. When you think I'm doing everything, soul says, okay, you can do it. And then the light body's not there, you see. You only have the light body once you've agreed that you want to have this field and the light body. Then the soul can wisdom wise all your past births, and your samskaras and all your lumps and bumps. That's why there's no right and no wrong. So it only becomes your wisdom. Okay. I think that's enough for today. Anyway, but that's just easy, so we can have a little bit of a thought. So just sit in soul presence. You know how we sit in soul presence? We're just here and present. And we don't have to make any efforts. We just say, I am soul present. And click here, there, And it's not, and you don't have to make any efforts to be soul present. You're not here to fix anything. You're not here to heal anything. You're not here to change anything. You're just allowing all that to come. And that's the game. It's a real game. So body's going to heal itself. soul, the mind is going to be your best friend. It'll bring you all the things you need to let go and help you in every way. And the light body is there to help you, because that's all your wisdom, you know. You'll have these new beautiful ideas and things, magical things will start happening. And the soul becomes you, you know, you're the soul and you're all enjoying the human. This is what you express through a human. If you're trying to get rid of the body, you're going to have nothing to express through it. So the body's dead. That's it, finished. You have to wait till you get a new body, you know. So you don't reject the body. You love the body for what it is. So learn to love yourself. But why? In that reason that my I am, my everything, this whole field is expressing through the human. That's it. So enjoy your hugs. Cool. Okay, so just sit quietly then. Just see and just look in your wardrobe. Just picture a wardrobe in front of you and see all the clothes hanging there. And you can picture now, you can ask the mind to help you. Hey, mind, now that you're in my field, I might need a bit of a hand to sort these clothes out. So which is the ones I need and which are the ones I don't. So you don't have to make any effort to sort them out yourself. Though when you ask the mind and the soul to help you, they will just take out the clothes you don't need. You can ask, hey, soul, take out all the clothes that are of no use to me. That means my habits, samskaras, my wishes and longings, and things I think I did that was bad, and things that I thought I was good. All these things, all these clothes that are hanging in my wardrobe of my mind, just show me which ones to remove. In fact, you don't even need to know. The soul will remove them, but you might see them as they're going out, but you're just going to let them go. So whatever it is, maybe you have a situation with a relationship with somebody and having all these negative thoughts about them. So now you can say, okay, thank you for that experience. I love you. And then just let it go. So whatever is shown to you, just say thank you, love you, and then let the soul, let it be wisdomized into your light body. So there's never been a thing that's wasted. Whatever's happened is for benefit. So just look in that wardrobe and just feel that the clothes that you don't need. What don't I need in this life? Do I need to be a multimillionaire? Is that too much hard work? Do I need to work hard? It's another set of clothes. Do I need to have someone telling me what to do, or do I need to ask all the time? See, these are sorts of clothes that maybe I don't need. So just let the soul show you, and the mind will help you sort through all the clothes you don't need. So just take a nice deep breath in. Just let out all the negative energy. Just let it out. As these clothes are chosen and taken off the rack and wisdomized, just take a nice breath in. We're not conquering anything. We're not trying to heal anything. We're not trying to fix anything. We're just going to allow them to be sorted out. And I'm not making any efforts. That's not my job now. My job is just to observe. I am in my soul presence consciousness. That's it. Just breathe in. Relax. Put your feet up. Have a nice cup of coffee. Enjoy life. You don't have to do all that hard work now. Get rid of all those clothes that are of hard work. Get rid of all the clothes but it's anything to do with some sort of religion or culture, that's not really you. That's just a facade. Anything you haven't worn for a long time, that's stuck in the corner, wants just to be wisdomized. Some old, something that happened long ago that's just been sitting there in the corner. Just allow it to move out of the wardrobe. Let your mind and the soul work together and clean your wardrobe of all the negative, useless clothes that are of no benefit anymore. They were there and gave experiences, although were useless really. So actually now they can become your wisdom. You don't have to fight with anything anymore. You can just smile all day long. Just breathe in and just relax. Feel your whole body. Feel the lightness in your chest, in your stomach. Everything is free and being released. You can come and open this wardrobe anytime. Just be in your soul presence. It might happen in your dreams. Maybe happened to me today. It's like my soul, my mind pulled a few little things out and says, hey, you're thinking of these lately. You don't need to. That's of the old world. Now let them go and they can become part of your wisdom. So I just said, oh yeah, sorry about that. And then allowed it to be wisdomized. I become free. Okay, just take a nice deep breath. Om Shanti.